Singapore celebrates 50 years of independence. Citizens should remind themselves that religious harmony is a precious legacy to be treasured. Prime Minister Lee Hsien Loong made these comments at the 66th anniversary of the interreligious organisation this evening. Now, leaders of the 10 main faiths in Singapore attended the event at the Istana, and Mr. Lee said efforts of the organisation has strengthened religious harmony in Singapore over the years. Religious leaders have built up mutual trust and can discuss sensitive issues that arise from time to time. Now, this includes the threat of self-radicalization and ISIS, or managing public issues such as the wearing of religious symbols or the conduct of festivals. But Mr. Lee cautioned that even though the country is able to be more open and mature in discussing racial and religious matters, this doesn't mean that religion is no longer a sensitive area.
But this doesn't mean that we don't have to be sensitive and respectful, or to worry about actions that provoke and give offense. Look at other societies. Even in countries where different groups have lived together for centuries, race and religion still remain sensitive issues, which can be stirred up and can explode.
Within Singapore, Mr. Lee pointed out that there are also developments which can affect racial and religious harmony. Now, firstly, Mr. Lee said Singaporeans are becoming more religious, which is positive. But religious fervour can also lead to separation and mutual exclusion between different groups. Secondly,
the internet and social media have made it easier for people both to cause offence and to take offence. When someone puts up something provocative or offensive, it doesn't just affect the coffee shop in which you let off steam, it reaches the whole of cyberspace. May we even stretch beyond Singapore if it goes viral. And one thoughtless comment can cause a mass reaction. But instead of a judicious response, it may provoke a self-righteous mob reaction and a public lynching, which is even worse than the original provocation. Thirdly, as our society develops and becomes more diverse, from time to time, religious issues will overlap with social and moral questions. For example, LGBT issues or dealing with income inequality.
In such an environment, Mr. Lee said the government must take a watchful, prudent and hands-on approach.
We can't afford to take purist notions on freedom of expression or the right to be offensive to others. So we will not hesitate to act firmly when necessary, because if conflict erupts, it will cause grave damage to our social fabric. Our limits may be stricter than some other societies, but we make no apology for that. It is because of the nature of our society and the different faiths which have been brought together here and which must live peacefully together here. And we should not change our fundamental policies that have served Singapore well in our unique situation.
During the event, the Prime Minister launched a special SG50 edition of IRO's Interfaith Journey, which includes the journey and activities of the organisation. Now, he also said the younger IRO leaders will be setting up a Harmony in Diversity museum, which will display artefacts focusing on the commonalities across religions.